don't know if my friends are here from Capalino, so I'll do a quick shout out for them. So Capalino, I'm here went to the demo that Capalino did a couple months ago. So there you go. So if you remember Capalino, they're basically, if you're a startup or a company looking to do business with the city, New York, or the state, or the federal government, they basically have this system of, they have basically an RFP-based system to basically help you get those gigs. And they have an app that basically you can download. Say, I'm a startup and I do web development. I want to get business from some department or agency. You go in there, you can find the bid, you can get access to it. So that's Capalino+Company. That's what they do. I can see my presenter here. He's wondering what he's to do. Look for the HDMI, plug into your HDMI jack. I may have to instruct you on that. All right, I can do one more quick shout out, and I can help them out. My friends here from Grassi & Co. They're our accounting firm sponsors. If you're not familiar with accounting, it's a 1, a 2, a 3. Your taxes are due in like a week. I don't want to break it to you folks. Don't count on tax reform happening before the April 15th deadline. You should file your taxes. Grassi & Co., they're our sponsor. Those are the wrong adapters. You need to use the HDMI. Discover it right there. So the HDMI. And make it work. So Grassi & Co., they're our sponsors. They actually just merged with another accounting firm. Yeah, they're our hosts. So keep an eye on them, and we'll have to do a shout out. All right, so keep things going. I was kind of multitasking there. My brain was trying to do things at the same time. Thank you.
Okay. Excuse me if I refer to some notes because I tend to go off script. I want to keep this on a timeline. So I'm Emil Innocenti. I'm CEO and founder of piggyback.com. First, let me clarify why you're going to see the name Newsbeam on the demo site. What I have here is to show you a demo site for piggyback.com, which we built into the Newsbeam site for testing purposes. We're currently building a complete online site for Piggyback based on the basic principles that you're going to see here. So try to disregard that Newsbeam GUI and some of the UI, as all of this is under improvement. I just want to take advantage of the opportunity to show you the system in an early stage and hear whatever comments and questions you might have, which can contribute to the completion of our programming. We have a launch date for the new piggyback.com platform scheduled for August 1st of this year. So I want you to think of piggyback.com as the match.com of co-marketing for small business. We provide a social business network where any business can go online, find another business who shares the same demographic, geographic, or industry audience, and collaborate to launch co-marketing campaigns across email, mobile, social, and web to expand their reach, gain more subscribers, and find new customers, all while protecting their customer lists. Now, we all know what co-advertising is. We've seen it in print. Two companies promote their business on the same page for the same audience. And we see businesses use marketing, mail stuffers, and they always needed an advertising agency in the middle. There's no easy way for businesses to collaborate directly and send digital co-marketing campaigns. So this is a pretty simple value proposition. Every business wants to find more business, and we created a new digital advertising channel to help them do it. Now, the development of Piggyback's co-marketing exchange is conducted on the, built on the experience that we had running digital marketing campaigns for Newsbeam. We did national brands, ABC TV, Animal Planet, WPLJ Radio here in New York, national expos, political campaigns, and local businesses. The results of the beta and the market interviews led us to create a solution to a common pain point everyone raised. That is, how do we expand our subscriber lists, social followers, and geographic market reach more easily than using current email, mobile, or social channels? So Piggyback is a first-of-a-kind online exchange using a patented process that combines the video, text, and graphic advertising from any business in the exchange with the highly targeted content of any business partner in the exchange and broadcast that co-branded message to all online channels. And through our integration with current email, mobile, social network providers, Piggyback will easily help millions of business users of email, mobile, social, and web to grow their business without requiring them to change any providers. Now, we may not be the most exciting cutting-edge technology, but believe we are a technology platform that every cutting-edge or even average local business would like to have to help them grow. Now, let me show you a demo. I'm going to race through this because we don't have time to be uploading videos and waiting for things to render. So the front of the system works pretty much like eBay. This, we'll say, is Business A. He goes online and using our web portal, searches for a compatible business partner. Let's make Business A a local LA Fitness. So I want to expand my reach by co-marketing with local businesses. I log into Piggyback, upload a video, then upload a graphic banner. We have templates to make it easy for them to create the banner of the site. To save time, we've already uploaded these ads, okay? So next we do a local search. And within 10 miles, the top 3 businesses pop up. We've selected David Ezra Salon and Spa, another local business. So we send the salon to the ad to either accept this as a co-marketing partner. We're building out an algorithm right now to easily select the top best possible matches based on the user's search criteria. So over on the other side of town, David Ezra, he's all set up to send out his monthly video beauty tips in his email and to his social networks. He has his typical target group set up. He has his ads and sponsors in the system. Whoa, that was not good. This person would be the content provider. So he's basically has the same type of setup as if he was sending his regular email that's integrated with the co-marketing exchange. So I'm going to skip to here. When he's ready to send something out, he's going to go to prepare it. And he has in here LA Fitness, which he's received the offer from to do a co-marketing program. He would accept LA Fitness and okay. And he would set it up the normal broadcast, but by accepting them, you will see that in his email newsletter, the advertising for LA Fitness, the banner has been placed at the bottom of his outgoing email, and the video has been integrated at the top end of his video beauty tips. When he sends this beam, the outgoing email looks like this. So it's combined the advertising with the outgoing content. When we go here, you'll see that this leads to the click through to the website, which takes advantage for the both parties to subscribe and build up their followers.
That's the exercise I was talking to you about, right?
Okay. So we're pretty much, I want to show you the back end. The back end, we're currently gathering a lot of detailed statistics so local businesses can track if they're expanding into the next town, the next county, or the next state over, wherever they're trying to co-market to grow, continue to grow their list.
All right, good job. Good job in the demo. We almost had us up doing some exercise. Told you, we've all been wearing SUPA outfits and we could have been measuring your heart rate. So this is pretty cool. Actually, the thing is, I'm not too familiar with co-marketing. It's kind of a new concept. You know, it's interesting because we're in the event business, and I'm always like, you know, we're doing media trades, right? So I'm thinking, when I think co-marketing, I'm like, okay, well, you know, I'll promote your event, you promote my event. We're kind of the same general genre, general audience that helps. And then usually we come up with some sort of media trade agreement. I don't know if that's like, is that the general philosophy here? Or is there something else going on here? Is this like some list sharing going on? So
there's no list sharing. Everything remains totally confidential. So you've got one business that may have 3,000 people on their email list. they're going to say, this guy's got the same demographic or geographic I want to reach. I'm going to offer to combine my advertising with his outgoing contents. So now I'm reaching 6,000 people. The more they do it, the more they get to experience.
So obviously, you think of it in terms of like a fair trade, right? So let's say I do make smoothies, right? And I'm thinking to myself, wow, that LA fitness audience is like my key audience, but my mailing list is like, we're doing a little co-marketing thing, but I've got like 600 people on my list, and they've got like 60,000 people on their list. Right. Clearly, I want into their list a heck of a lot more than they want into my list. So how do you deal with that?
Well, it's an open market. So in the most case, what we're finding is a lot of smaller businesses are interested in doing this with smaller businesses. Other businesses may say, okay, you can have 1,000 of my 3,000 outgoing emails. The system will count it out and just take your ad back off. So it mixes and matches according to how they want to collaborate together.
Yeah, that's interesting. So you said there's a difference between just co-marketing and co-advertising. What's the...
Well, co-advertising was kind of the way people kind of remember this as. Now it's strictly just a digital co-marketing platform.
I think the ultimate in co-advertising, do you remember that Super Bowl ad with like every brand in it?
Correct.
And that was like really cool, like 20 brands all partnered together, like, oh, let's open the refrigerator, let's see what's there. Like, oh, look what's on the wall, look what I'm wearing.
That's the thing. Major corporations can do that all the time with a big advertising agency. There's no way for small and mid-sized businesses to take advantage of that. So this just opens up a whole new channel for them, for their email, mobile, and social.
Got it. I mean,
what's the monetization process? How are you making money, and how are the small businesses saving and or selling their platform?
Okay, we're planning to go to market for August 1st. We start marketing regionally in New Jersey and a couple of counties through local, actually newspaper owners that want to resell us to small businesses. They're going to go in at $9.99 a month and $10 per 1,000 piggybacks, meaning 1,000 outgoing emails. So they're basically paying a penny for each.
Okay, then there's like no period. It's like 9.99.
And at the back end,
so I just want to make sure that there was a decimal point in there.
And at the back end, there's a revenue share. So the company's got a 50-50 revenue share. So that the spa just spent $9.99, and he just received $30 in advertising. He's walking away with money, and we've split the revenue with him, and we've received the monthly fees from both.
So is there any way for, let's say, an LA Fitness with 30,000 users to make money off of, your small, as I said, a smoothie person with 600 people? Is there a way for them to charge more for their lists?
We're creating an algorithm that's going to float the cost of the advertising, but not initially. That $10 price is like no big deal to anybody. We come out very profitable. Eventually, it'll adjust according to every user's results.
Okay. Makes sense. Got a question in the back here, as I forget to make.
Maybe I misunderstand, but you basically playing the role of a PR firm, and if that is so, partial role, how do you targeting with the emails? If you're assisting in marketing, how do you know your targets and profile your targets?
The targets are small to mid-sized businesses that are currently using email, mobile, and social marketing and web. We're reaching them initially with outbound, feet on the ground, telemarketing, same way, let's say Yelp did it in the beginning. Okay, but except we're not going to spend all that money, everything's on a pay-per-commission basis.
Now, are you asking about the newsfeed business, or are you asking about, like, if I want to go find a co-marketer, how do I know that my co-marketing partner has the right audience?
Okay, yeah, because by using the search engine, you're going to enter certain criteria, the location of the business, the type of product, maybe the demographics, the age or income, and you're going to get back results for the businesses that are on the system according to that search criteria. And then, kind of like an eBay, then you're going to send out an offer to them. They're going to get to see what you're offering them, your ad, and either accept or reject it. They want to be part of the network. It's really a social business network where they've got to work it together. People are going to do it with each other. You have to take an ad, give an ad, and you participate as part of a network.
That reminds me of something. Yes, question?
Yeah, really interesting concept. How do you handle spammers and people who don't want, businesses who don't want their emails to hit spam filters?
Everything. Well, first off, there's two things. I mean, right now, we clean everything that was used through our system. Everything has to be a subscriber-based, opt-in, opt-out. There's a lot of strict regulation. And if they're using an outside provider, let's say you're using MailChimp and he's using Constant Contact, you can still go through our system and then through the API go back out. And again, then it becomes their responsibility to make sure that those lists are clean. But everything has to be compliant with the regulations.
So triggered something in my brain. I'm like, this seems kind of familiar. Back in the old days of the .com, you know, if you guys remember the 1990s. Yes, that was a different presidential season a long time ago. There were a whole bunch of people in the link exchange business. Remember that? And actually one of those guys made a lot of money in the link exchange business, then ended up founding Zappos. You know, Tony Hsieh, right? He started Link Exchange, which was acquired by Microsoft actually back in 1996 or something, right? And that was a big acquisition. It was like a $300 million acquisition. And it was just link exchange. It's like, okay, I put your stuff on my website, I got traffic, you put your stuff on your website, you got traffic, me traffic, you traffic. So have you looked at sort of like, but the whole link exchange thing kind of fell apart. I don't remember the reason why. Nobody really does that anymore. I think it's because Google got wise to that and then like really started clamping down.
There's been newer shifts.
Yeah.
But right now, email is still the number one, effective marketing channel. However, we're reaching across all these cross channels, and it's just making it very simple to
That's a good comparison. Yes. I'll make yours final question, Mr. Marketer.
Do you find that you might have any competition in sort of any companies in the similar space? Like, I don't know if you've heard of the platform Opportunity. They also, I know it's more business leads, but it is a similar price point. Is there a fear of bombarding these businesses with like, it's only $10 a month, but if they're doing Opportunity, which is also $5–10 a month, might it be too much of too many at the
Again,
same
it's a
time?
whole other channel, and it's a totally different concept of direct digital marketing. And we do not have any direct lookalike competition, and we own patents on the process that's combining the video on the fly and on the process that's of the marketing exchange itself between the two parties. So I mean, that's about as best as we can get.
All right. Well, good stuff. Good demo. We got the video working. Got everything working. The demo looks good. And you said you can have more product later, so it's not bad for a first version. Not bad for the first release. All right, cool.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. So as we're plugging in, my friend from Microsoft, Andy's going to be demoing the cognitive services. You're familiar with Talk to Nexus or just Talk to Microsoft? On that note,
This is great. Hey everybody, my name is Andy Reitano. I'm a Microsoft Technical Evangelist, and I'm here to speak to you about cognitive services, which are a part. Yeah, sure.
make it a little bit easier.
Yeah, clip it off.
Full service.
Thanks a lot. And it's actually one of my favorite parts of the tech we offer. And it's really interesting and a really easy way to give a human side to your applications. So just a bit about me. I was a professional electrical engineer for about 10 years before I joined Microsoft. The picture in the top left is just kind of remind me that I'll always be a roadie moving equipment no matter where I go in my career. And that's my ham radio call sign, if anybody has a ham radio license. So, I talk a lot about Azure, and some people are supposed to use better cloud offerings, but just a few things you can do off the top of my head. You can deploy a web app with continuous integration to GitHub, build a mobile math backend for your applications. You can store any stuff in any table, any database. We have NoSQL and SQL databases, and this all lives in the Azure portal. And this cognitive services piece I'm about to speak about also lives there. And a lot of it's free for you to try, so I encourage you to make an account and start to play. So one of my favorite parts about cognitive services, it's kind of, it's language agnostic. So we're offering a bunch of tools that basically you hit an HTTP endpoint. It doesn't matter if you're using Python or Ruby or whatever your application's using, as long as you can speak to the internet, you can start to leverage our machine learning models, image recognition, speech and text. Really amazing stuff. It basically amounts to an API call, and I'm going to show you some kind of fun stuff you can do with just a single key for free today. So here's just, and this is not even a comprehensive list of the kinds of things you can do with this API. Vision, the vision stuff is always impressive, and that's the demo I'm going to run today. And basically, you can take an image and you can either upload a URL pointing to an image, or you can upload the actual binary data, the octet stream, whatever you want to call it, and it'll do analysis in ways, either detecting emotion, gender and age guessing, describing the picture in plain text, so you just get a string back. It's really amazing. We also do speech, text-to-speech, speech-to-text, translation, academic, white paper searching, and you can leverage anything that Bing has to offer, image search, you know, the text search, obviously, news, things like that. And when it gets really interesting, when you start combining these services, so here was a demo they had done with a camera and glasses, and they were able, you know, to complement each other, right? You're using several different APIs to create one product. So you have computer vision, image speech recognition, natural language processing, and machine learning, and we end up with glasses that can describe the room for people who are vision impaired. And this is all done through API calls, so if you have something like a Raspberry Pi or a very low power machine, it doesn't matter because you're kind of outsourcing the computation, right? So just a couple applications that were powered by these services. The caption bot that will describe an image. Project Murphy is kind of interesting, where you can actually, it'll do natural language processing. You can type 2 things and it'll use facial recognition to combine images. It's really fun to play with. And a celebrity matching tool for our face recognition. So I think it's best probably just to dive right in and show you how powerful this is. So you can go to this URL. You don't even need a key. If you want to just play, you can paste an image here. If you don't have your image remote, you could upload it to like an imager or, you know, on your local hosting. But basically, you upload an image and you get a JSON string back. Whoops, sorry, it's mirrored. This always happens. Okay, where are we going? That's okay. Let's see what we can do here. Sorry about that. Which one was? Whoa. Okay. Much text on the screen right now. This is good enough. So basically, you can upload a link to an image, or you can upload the binary data itself. And what you end up with is it responds with a JSON string. So this one is describing the image. So you can see here, they'll come back with parameters, and with that confidence of you know, how accurate it thinks it's landing. But one of the most interesting things is you actually get a plain text string describing the whole image. And this one is people swimming. It also recognizes the person in the photo, guess age 28, guess gender male, and it actually gives you the coordinates for where the face is. So you can do image recognition of a crowd and then pick up all people in it. And you know, it's really interesting when you start to take these family photos. And I was at a hackathon, and the first time I'd seen this and it made me a believer was a student had come up and taken a picture of themselves, and she wrote a Python script to hit this API, and they said, how old did it think you were? She said, 19.5. I said, how old are you? She goes, 19 and a half. And I always thought that was really pretty amazing stuff. You know, beyond this, you can actually take some of the meta data or the context of it. So, you know, this will recognize that it's clip art, you know, that's an image, a line drawing. Abstract non-photo. You actually check for, say, close up of 2 giraffes in a tree. Pretty close. For line drawings, it's tough. But what I always do is when I do these hackathons, I always take the school mascot and upload an image, and it always seems to come back pretty close. You can see the dominant colors of an image. So you just need to think of ways to leverage this in your application. Anything that would need an emotion analysis or you know, face analysis, you can actually pick out features. You can get details where their eyes are, their ears, the mouth, the position. You're just getting a JSON string with pixel rectangle coordinates on how that all works. I don't have that as a demo, but let me just skip ahead here. This one's fun. So, you know, you can take a picture and it'll do the same thing where it locks in faces and it'll do this automatically for you, but it'll also give you a score based on motion. And I've seen a bunch of really fun hackathon projects where it's like, they link it to a Spotify API, and they'll take a picture of someone as they walk into a party, and if they're sad, they'll queue up a sad song, or, you know, if they look angry, they'll queue up like a metal song or something like that. And it's a really easy way to just kind of give your app a bit of an edge. We do character recognition, pretty much anything you can think of doing to an image. They pre-train these models for you, so you don't need to delve into machine learning and do it yourself. You can just upload the image and let it do magic. That's it. Right.
All right, good job. Yeah, great stuff. It's like Whenever I see demos like this, I'm thinking like, ooh, what kind of crazy things can I do with it? I was like, there's the normal things and there's the great things. Like, has anybody actually built an app called Judge a Book by its Cover, or actually judges a book by its cover? I should do that. I should do it. Is that a cool idea? Good book, bad book.
Ron just wants to break it.
I do. I want to break it. I'm going to just keep breaking it. Like, what the heck is this? It'll say 2 drafts by a tree. So let me ask you this. I got a question over there. So while after walking the mic over to you, let me ask you a quick question. So this is all like built in, like to the Azure services and all that sort of stuff.
That's right.
So let me ask you a little bit about privacy, about inappropriate images and things like that.
So the inappropriate images thing is actually interesting because you can leverage our tools, and there's this, just like there's a confidence score there's also a RACI score. So you can filter images based on adult content. So let's say you had like a Slack chat or something, and you had a bot, and you just wanted to remove any images that you might think are racy. You can set your own tolerance, and this will come back with a percentage based on, I don't know how the model is trained. We were joking about doing this at a hackathon of like, well, how do we test if it's working without putting a bunch of like smut in the chat? We're like, how do we solve this problem?
17th century artwork.
There you go.
See if that works.
Been on my
That's
team.
the question: should it be racy or not? I don't know. It's just Botticelli. It's just Botticelli. So, but the first question has to do with privacy too. Let's say I'm using this thing for surveillance. Like, let's say I got a camera here, and I'm like taking photos, and I'm sending it to Microsoft, and I'm like, give me some vision recognition. And I don't know if I can upload image thumbnails, and you can actually do like image recognition, like face recognition, like how Facebook is doing it, right? So first of all, there's that level of fidelity. Can you get to that level of fidelity? And second of all, what's happening with all that imagery that I'm sending to Microsoft?
I don't want to speak to our privacy policy, but I believe that none of the images are stored on the server. That I can say. And then anything with facial recognition besides celebrities, you train your own face model. So if you had staff and you wanted to use face recognition for, say, not biometrics, but if you wanted for your own staff badges or something like that, you're training your own model. We don't have like a public model with everybody's face data in there.
But the tech can do it. If you train it, you can be like, I can recognize all my TechBreakfast people. Be like, ooh, somebody from TechBreakfast just walked over here.
Yeah. So yeah, if you think about training a machine learning model, it's not as intense as building the image recognition. You're basically just training faces. So there's tools for the specific thing that you care about. But yeah, you would get a unique ID for that face, and then you can match it back.
Yeah.
Hi.
Should be on.
There we go. Yeah, I actually have 2 questions for you. One is the score that I see associated with many of these tags, and it varies quite a bit. And I see the confidence one.
Sure.
So I saw it in a lot of other ones as well.
Mm-hmm.
What is kind of the difference in that score metric with all the different tags?
Sure.
And then the second question I have is also, what is like your competitive advantage compared to maybe like TensorFlow or some of these other ones that also do this?
Mm-hmm.
And what is it really that makes kind of Microsoft sizzle a little bit?
Okay, so yeah, the first question, the confidence level for each parameter, you get a float value back, and it's out of 1. So this is basically 18%, 16%. So your confidence goes down. So like staring is kind of, the bottom reads staring. Sorry, the text is kind of small. It's kind of an abstract concept, right? This is for something to stare. And then grass C is down here at 48%. But as you get to the top, it's pretty sure there's grass, and that's 99% repeating almost. And the threshold, you're talking about 90% above, animal standing, animal ground, fields, cow, outdoor. So you can set your own thresholds in your application based on your needs, right? Like let's say you want to be a little bit loose and you wanted bovine. You would say 50% and up, and you can filter out results in your application. And as far as our competitive advantage, I really believe that you're leveraging the models we've already trained. Like I haven't personally used TensorFlow. I would say I'm a machine learning expert. But I don't know if they have pre-trained. Do they have pre-trained models for image recognition like this? I'm sure you can build it and train your own. But I think the ease of use, for instance, if I took a picture of you guys now, I can upload the image and just get this stuff back. I don't have to do any training.
Pre-training as part of the...
Yeah, so I think this used to be Project Oxford, and then this kind of folded into our cognitive.
Yes.
Kind of piggybacking off Ron's question.
Sure.
First, can this be done as a streaming video and based on the emotions used as a surveillance tool? So if I'm hosting a party, I'm a streaming video, and I see anyone who comes in who's pissed or angry,
sure,
I can right away, attack them. Is that something that can be done? And again, what are the ramifications of a line something like that?
Yeah, you can throw them out. But yeah, you can, I've seen a couple of ways. I'm pretty sure you can do it through video streaming, but a lot of people will take snapshots and hit the API, 4 times a second, 10 times a second, whatever that is. I've seen an example where they'll run that on a movie in VLC, and they'll take every frame, and then you can search the movie for, oh, at the time Captain America drank a coffee, or whatever it is. So you can index video that way. I've seen applications work that way. I kind of like the idea of throwing someone out before they cause a problem in your party.
Yes, you'd be banned for life. Yes?
Yeah, following up what he says, I mean, you're looking at still photographs right now, and the challenge has been in data storage is you have petabytes of file, movie videos, and I want to find a video of Hillary Clinton speaking in the Children's Center in 1997. Can you do that with your current application, or is that we're still too far away from that in a petabytes storage system we've been hired?
No, from what I understand, you would just split them into discrete images and upload them that way, and you can do it fairly rapidly. Or, you take the video and you can post every frame if you'd like and get an analysis of every frame, and then do your post analysis locally. So you can upload all the images, but as far as uploading video and getting something back, like a score, it's not the way it's working right now. But you can if you split it up into photos, you can run every frame you wanted through here, and then you would just basically have a comma separate value or database of the emotion in every single frame.
Yeah, there's no doubt that's the direction all this is going. I just know, pick your search engine of choice. I won't name names here, but like there's going to be a future where it'll be like you describe what you want to search, and it may actually give you. I'm sure that one of these search engines can provide an actual frame of a video that's probably on a video site, won't know which one, and it'll say, yep, what you're looking for is at 1 minute and 28 seconds on this video. I have no doubt that's probably happening on the Bing world and then the other guys. Yeah, it's already happening, yeah. Any other follow-up questions? Yes, in the back.
Can I ask a small question on the pricing?
Pricing.
Yeah. So right now you can roll this out, and I think you get I forget how many API calls you get per minute, but it's free. I mean, you can play with it for
free tier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's F0 is the free tier, and then F0 is the next one up. But I think you can do like 1,000, 10,000 calls a day or something crazy.
It's good.
With the free one.
I like it.
But I don't know how it scales up.
I'll make yours.
I've only done hacks and demos.
Yeah, there you go.
What other things do Microsoft Cognitive Services do besides image recognition? And the other question is, on image recognition, do you use technologies other than things like deep learning?
So for the first question, this one's most fun to me. But there's a comprehensive list of all the things we can do. But I guess my second favorite thing is a thing called sentiment analysis, and you can run a tweet or an email through it, and you can kind of see if they're speaking positively or negatively about a product. So you can pick out the subject, and you can automatically analyze a human written text, right?
I think you had a slide on that earlier. If you don't mind messing with your OCR, emotion.
Oh yeah, you put up that.
There you go. Take that one right there. Cool.
This is the video.
Oh, that's the video. Just this one more. There's you had something in there. There it goes. Language, knowledge, search. Cool.
Right. I do appreciate again, easy to use. You would upload a string with the text that you care about, and it comes out with a confidence level on if it's negative leaning or positive. And then as far as how they train these models, I'm no expert on that. I guess I'm using more as a developer. So the deep learning that they do, I know is a project. I'm pretty sure if they're leveraging off Project Oxford, which was started many years ago, and they're using those models, and they kind of folded them under the umbrella of cognitive services. So I don't know how they were trained. I'm assuming they know what they're doing, because the end result is pretty good.
There you go. Okay, good job. Good job on the demo. This is awesome. I'm looking forward to building stuff. Okay, cool. So as Jonathan's plugging himself in, looks like he's in, and he's going to do the mic. I'm going to do I'm going to do some event shout-outs, because I got a couple of big events coming up. How many of you are startups or want to be having a startup? Okay, cool. Entrepreneurs. I just came up with that word. I like it. Entrepreneurs. So that's all of us people. We are running a big venture capital event. We do our Ask a VC event here at least twice a year in New York. Here in this very room, actually usually we are expanded, we have 2 rooms, and we're doing it again. So Ask a VC New York is coming here on June 13th, and we have over 30 investors coming. It's really awesome. And AI is like all the smart investors are investing in AI. So there's lots of stuff going on. It's on June 13th, 2017. It's on Eventbrite. Ask a VC NYC 2017. Is that your question? When? The name of the event is called Ask a VC NYC. There's Ask a VC in DC as well, but there's Ask a VC in NYC. We always do things that rhyme with C, so I don't know, go figure. So yes, this time around we're doing something really interesting. So for those of you, how many of you have been to one of our Ask a VC events in the past? A bunch of you? Okay, a few of you? Just you? 2 of you? All right. So if you recall, usually we have so much and so many investors going on. We usually have like multiple rooms. You have to like pick which room you want to be in. So the way it works is that we have a bunch of investors up here in the front of the stage, usually on these fabulous little blue chairs, and they're answering your questions in Ask Me Anything format, which means you ask them anything, and they will usually answer anything. And then after that, we do what's called a lightning round. You put your name on a list, the name goes on a big spinning wheel. We spin the wheel, if it lands on your name, you get 1 minute to pitch the investors have 2 minutes to provide feedback. That's really for elevator style pitches. It's for, yeah, you're getting to pitch the investors, but it's also, what is a good pitch like? And so the VC is usually commenting not only on the idea, but they're like, that pitch was awesome, I understood what you did from like the first 5 seconds you said it, or like a minute later, like, I still have no idea what you're talking about. So it's a good way to get feedback on pitching investors in general. Of course, if you do the right pitch, you may get something out of it. After the lightning round we're going to do one-on-one. So last time this was kind of chaotic. We'll admit, a lot of investors, and some of the investors kind of like wandered away. They weren't like waiting. So what we're going to do this time around is we'll do the panel. We're not going to do simultaneous panels. We'll do one after another. So we'll do a panel, a lightning round, and then 45 minutes of one-on-one time with the investors. Just queue up in front of them. We put the timer on so nobody's monopolizing the conversation, about 4 minutes each, so keep it moving. And then we do another panel, and then another lightning round, and another set of one-on-ones, and then another panel, another lightning round, and another set of one-on-ones. It's about a half a day. You can spend all day, or half a day, sitting around pitching investors. We'll have nice hot food, so it should be good. That's June 13th. The super early registration deadline is expired. I think the early registration deadline may have been the end of March, so get on it, folks, because every time we do it, it sells out. So Ask a VC NYC, it's on Eventbrite, June 13th. The second thing I want to mention is our Startup Spectacular event. We did this event last year at Fordham University and Lincoln Center, and it was awesome. So once again, if you're a startup or an entrepreneur or a wantrepreneur or an entrepreneur, whatever you want to call it, you need to get off your butt and do stuff, basically. Don't talk about it. Do it. So what we do is we have a 3-track event where the first track is called Launch a Startup, and we actually have lawyers there and going to incorporate you if that's what you want. It's included in the registration, which is pretty awesome if you know how much registration incorporation is. They'll help you do trademark search, all the stuff that you need to do just to get your startup formed, operating agreements, insurance, blah, blah, blah. That's the launch track. The second track is called the grow track. So we're going to have salespeople like how to sell, how to market. We're going to have Facebook and Google folks who are doing SEO stuff and like basically helping you figure out how to do that, how to build an MVP, all that good stuff, right? Then we have a third track called Fund Your Startup, and that's like Ask a VC, but it's 2 whole days. You could spend 2 whole days pitching investors all day if that's what you want to do. So we have something like 35 investors coming to this. And then we have lessons learned. So lessons learned are entrepreneurs that have been there and done it, usually successful ones. Last year we had a CEO of MakerBot and a few others. This year we're going to have again CEO of MakerBot. We're going to have Seth Goldman, the founder of Honest Tea. We have 2 others. Now what's different about this year than last year is in New York. This year it's at Georgetown University in DC. I know, not the same city, but get on the train when it works. Get down to DC. And it's July 25th and 26th. Early registration is still happening. So go ahead and take advantage of it. It's limited to 300. Last year we basically sold out, I think, within the first month or 2. See some of the people who were there last year. So it's a lot of fun. Those are the 2 big things I got for you. Woo! We're kind of running a little long, so I didn't want to keep things going too long. So my friend from Product Savvy and from WolfPack, I want to call you Wolf Trap for some reason, WolfPack, will run.
Okay, can you guys hear me? Excellent. So this is how I look on the weekend. And one of the trips I went with my buddies I got separated from them. And as I was trying to connect, I called them, they couldn't answer because they're on a motorcycle. Then I got frustrated, jumped on my motorcycle, and went riding. Of course, 2 minutes later, they're calling me. I can't answer. It was very, very frustrating. It took us about an hour to get together. And so when I was riding home, I was thinking about this. There has to be a solution for this problem. When you travel in groups, there has to be a way to keep the group together and allow it to communicate safely and easily. And this is how WolfPack was born. So now I'm going to show you a quick video about what WolfPack is all about, and immediately after that we'll go into a demo.
Riding with the group is a blast, but it can be a major challenge communicating and staying together while out on the road. If only there was a better way to ride socially. Well, now there is. This is WolfPack, the best way to ride together. With WolfPack, you get an integrated experience for the ultimate group ride. Once logged in, easily create a pack of your own. A pack is simply a group of riders interested in riding together. Next, you'll want to create a run. A run is the route you and your pack plan to take while riding. This will include your starting point and destination. Here's the best part. When your pack is ready to take off, tap to enter the run. The app will provide turn-by-turn navigation to all pack members while showing the position of all the riders in your pack. WolfPack's radar will also let you know if someone on your ride has strayed out of range. You can even send messages to everyone in the pack with just a tap. Talk about the ultimate group ride. Get it now for Android or iOS. WolfPack. Get there together.
Excellent. So, we released the app in October. We have roughly 7,200 users in 60 different countries that are using the application right now. And I'm going to walk you through this very, very easily. So obviously you start by activating the application. When you go in, you can either create an account or log in using Facebook. Once you did, you start creating your WolfPacks. WolfPacks are the groups you want to ride with. It can be any size, any number of people. The demo pack is me, it's when I do demos. So I'm being here all alone, but there are other packs. I can look at my riders, I can see who they are. If they have an emergency contact, I can call that if there is a problem and so on. Once I created my pack, I can go in and I can actually start planning a run. A run is a trip I want to be on, so this is my demo run. And when I go in, I can choose the time and place where we're going to meet, where we're going to go to. As a premium, I can actually add waypoints. It's very, very easy to do. If I click on the add waypoint option, it will just pop up. A map comes up, and then I can either choose the location, I can search, I can drag around, whatever I want. Once I did that, the magic actually starts. So now when I go on a run, so let's say I want to go to the White House, it's a little long, but we will get there. And so what it starts doing, it actually gives me turn-by-turn navigation. Everybody in my pack.
Turn left at the first cross street on the 7th Avenue.
So it gives a turn-by-turn navigation, including voice cues. If you're on a motorcycle, you're using Bluetooth, this can help. The first thing is everybody sees exactly the same map. So when we're riding, I don't need to worry about whether you know where we're going. Everybody knows where we're going, the map is there, and you can start and you can ride. On the radar, what you see on the top with the red dot in the middle, it will show me if other people are riding with me in the pack. It will show them related to myself. Let me mute that. Otherwise, we'll keep talking. Okay. So it will show where the riders are next to me. So I can change the radius between half a mile to 1 mile to 2 miles. So I can make sure that the pack is with me. If somebody starts to lag, I will see the distance between me and them growing. So I can slow down a little bit, give them time to pick up. Even if they get disconnected, it's not a big deal. Again, they know where they're going. They have the map. Now, just so you understand, for those who don't ride, when I ride, the phone is actually mounted here on my handlebar. So the only thing I do is I just glance down, see where I need to go, and that's it. So it's really easy to use. So the stress of keeping everybody together, the need to look back and see, oh, where my buddies are, goes away. I don't need to do that. Even if you're a mile away from me, I will still see you on the radar, so I know you're with me. Now, imagine you have a nature call. You need a pit stop. How do you say that to other people? So if you're in cars, you can maybe call them. Sometimes by the time you decide to stop, it's really already don't need to stop because you're good to go. Much harder on a motorcycle. So what I want to do on a motorcycle, again, I'm riding. I want to communicate. So what I do, I just tap my screen. I have these big buttons coming up. And even if I'm shaking on a motorcycle, it's easy to hit them. I do messages. I have pre-canned messages that can be customized. Everybody can have their own. And the minute I say, for example, pull over for food, everybody will get the message saying Jonathan is hungry, please pull over for food. Everybody knows that. So when the leader of the pack pulls over, it's not a problem. Everybody knows why. Nobody's surprised. It's really safe and easy to do. So that's about riding. If I want, for example, I may want to plan my ride. I go into WolfPacks. And if I'm riding with these guys, I can actually see and I can communicate with them. Good riding, I can upload images if I want. So it's a very, very easy and simple way to communicate with each other while in the pack. And everything is consistent within the application. Don't need to go out, don't need to use anything else. People who are not on the pack will not see anything. Only people in the pack will. So this way we kind of, my buddy couldn't ride here. So we kind of keep everything safe and easy to use. We eliminate the level of stress that you have when you're riding in packs. So far, as I mentioned, about 7,200 users, about 1,500 trips planned worldwide on many, many countries, and so we're pushing forward.
All right. Good job with demo. Hey, go.
Hello? Great. Do you know Runtastic, another great Austrian company that was bought by Adidas, where they track, when you're running, you can track your road and you can share it. Can you do the same thing with your rides? Like, can you track where you were going and then upload and share your rides? And can you save that information and then also kind of start gathering some more data from that?
Okay, so thank you. I'll tell $100 I promised for the question. I'll pay you later.
You queued it up.
First of all,
interesting. So Adidas had something. I didn't realize that they had an app in this space, like group running kind of. Runtastic. Okay, interesting. Okay.
So first of all, when you ride, we monitor your location every 10 seconds. We know exactly where you are, what speed you're going, all of that. Everything is saved on the back end. When you plan a run, we actually store an image that you can share with everybody you want on your pictures, on your albums, and your mobile device. You can do that. And the biggest secret we have is that we collect this information. And we actually become the world's biggest repository of motorcycle trips, behavior, what motorcycles you ride, when you ride, where you go, and so on. And this app, as is, can be used pretty much any type of group traveling. Whether you're on a bike, whether you're walking, whether you're in cars, it doesn't matter. We don't care. The app doesn't know. So the answer is yes, we collect that. I think that it's going to be really powerful, probably 12 to 18 months from now when we have 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 users. But we are already collecting information. Something I forgot to mention yesterday, we announced a partnership with an organization called Ross Brown. It's an organization of 400 law firms. They have 2 million subscribers. Those law firms focus on motorcycle riders, provide roadside assist. So yesterday our app was pushed out to those riders. Now when this app was released yesterday, this version, if I click on roadside assist, it will take me to Ross Brown. And if I have a problem, I can actually click, and it will make a call. If I click on call, it will actually make the call. So we are expanding this to the motorcycle community all over, actually. Thank you.
Can I share a quick follow-up here?
How do you deal with battery life? Because some of these trips are really long. Have you thought about also some sensors or?
So if you remember, as I mentioned, when you ride, it's mounted on my bike, and it's tethered to my bike's battery. And everybody does that. We're not unique. Everybody who has what we call a cruiser or a touring bike, which are the bigger bikes, not the pocket rockets, they usually have a holder for their phone, and it is tethered to their bike, so battery is not a problem.
And did you plan for a situation when there's no internet available,
Yes.
like with SMS or something?
Yes, so when there's no internet available, first of all, we pre-download your app. If you notice when we start to run, and I'll show it again, when we start to run, what we do, we actually download the map first. Do you see the zoom effect that you're going to see now? We download the app to the phone. So even if you're in no reception area, you do know how to go. The map is available for you. GPS is always available by law, actually, so GPS is not a problem. The only thing that will happen if you are in no reception area, it will not work. You will not see your bodies. But in this case, you're no worse than you are today. So there's nothing bad happening. And usually when you ride, especially now pretty much every day, the no reception areas become smaller and smaller because there are more and more deployments happening.
Yeah, I had a couple questions. Do you always need a leader in your pack?
You always need a creator for the pack. It doesn't have to be the leader. It doesn't mean you lead the pack, but you have to be a creator of the pack. Because one of the things to understand when I ride, I don't want random people to come. I don't know who you are. So I want the pack with my friends in. And this is what you see in motorcycle packs when they ride. You don't just go up and say, hey, you want to ride with me? Maybe you'll kill me, I don't know. Maybe you don't know how to ride. So it's very, very personal. People are very emotional about their bikes and about their packs.
So you said that, I guess, everybody shares the same map. So if somebody gets separated, they still see the
They
group's
still
map?
see it, yes.
So how do they get personalized directions to regroup with the group?
You don't need to personalize direction because we are going to the same location. It's not that we took a right turn and you take a left turn because you just feel like it. What happens is that you get delayed maybe behind a car, maybe you get stuck on a light. So you know where we're going because you have the map. We see you, kind of drifting back. If I lead the pack, it's my decision. I can slow down a bit, give you time to pick up, or I just keep going because I know that you have a map, so I don't need to worry about it.
Just kind of a follow-up to that. If, do you support free riding? Like if I just want, I'm not a biker, so I don't know if bikers do that, but
yes.
If you could just stick with your group and go.
Yeah, that's not $100. So here you go.
He's going to give you the $100 that is. You can give
I'm giving you the $100. Okay, fine. So we have something called a public run. So I can create a run which is public. So it's like a beacon. Now people that have WolfPack can search for public runs within 1 to 25 miles from where they are. And then they can join that path. This feature specifically was requested by dealerships. So usually motorcycle dealerships, what they have a monthly ride. So imagine you have 100 people who come in, they can go one by one and say, what's your email, add you, what's your email, add you. It doesn't work like that. But if we create a public ride and you find it, you just RSVP to it and you're done. And you can join the ride. Yes?
Besides, I guess, sponsorships or partnerships, how are you planning on growing and monetizing on that?
So right now, the app is free. Once you hit it for 8 rides, you need to subscribe to the premium version. So everybody has a cliff. After 8 rides, they have to subscribe. It's $1.99 a month right now, $19.99 a year for 2017. 2018 is going to be $5.99 a month, $59.99 a year. Another thing, if you go here and let's say you want to plan a ride and you want to add a waypoint, if you're not premium, it will not allow you to do that. So then you need to become a premium.
And I guess a follow-up question, do you have club memberships?
No.
So instead of doing personal as part of a...
Yeah, so clubs, we do have clubs using it. We have clubs in Texas, we have clubs in Maryland. The need is not there, they're not asking for it. The only thing they want to create their own pack, and I can actually show you an example. This is our back end.
You and your motor club.
No, not my motor club.
He's one of the 50%ers.
Yeah, this is one of the 1%ers, which is way worse.
It's the ultimate casual motorcycle club.
Okay, so let's go and
you only ride to burn spots anyway.
Yeah, we do both, when we're riding, it's both and both times.
Let's try this.
I like that.
Both times.
So if I look at WolfPacks, for example, this one, let's look at by number of users.
Brunch bikers.
And you're going to see, for example,
I think I have one more and then we'll wrap it up, by the way.
so these guys in Texas, 20 people, it's a bike club. I can see who are the members literally, including a picture if they have one, like this guy. So we have a lot of information to your question, and we're going to look into that later. We are not doing, by the way, we're not doing ads at all. This is my decision as the CEO, we're not going to have ads.
Okay, final question, wrap it up, yes?
Yeah, quickly, I mean, just like Waze, you putting alerts, traffic alerts and weather alerts in your app?
No, because we're trying not to kill our riders. One of the big deal with motorcycle is that I don't want you to play with your phone. What Waze does, every time you pull over at a light, you start getting 15 alerts for whatever, traffic or food or anything like that. We don't want to do that. When I ride, I don't want something beeping or jumping at me as I ride because it's distracting and I'll end up in a ditch. So we don't allow to do that.
Okay, cool. Final question there. I guess if we're all done, big thank you on the demo. I know that F1 had something.
Yeah. One quick question. I saw somebody's card downstairs with a health company from Boca Raton. If you are here, if you can find me afterwards, I think I might want to speak with you.
All right. John? We don't need trains to be on time to make this all work. So let's give a big round of applause to our fellows within a SUPA. You're a superstar. Sabine. Our friends from Newsbeam and Piggyback, Emil, he's around you somewhere. And of course, Microsoft Cognitive Services, Andy, and of course, Jonathan Chashper from WolfPack. You guys were awesome. Let's give a big round of applause. This guy. He was saying if he rode his bike, would have been here earlier, which is probably true. Let's give a big thank you to our sponsors, our friends here from DLA Piper, from Capalino & Co., Eisenberg Law Firm, Grossi & Co., Kiss Patent, Microsoft, our hosts, and Nexus. They're supporting us, so support them. There actually is a bunch of coffee left over. It's like weird, so go have some more coffee. There's also more stuff around the corner if you want the official stuff here at Microsoft. If you're interested in demos, we're back. Our next one is in May. We're back on the regular schedule, which is the second Tuesday of the month. So we'll hopefully see you at the next Tech Breakfast. So on that note, if you're interested in demoing, just go to the meetup group, click on the About Us link. If you're interested in presenting, fill out the form. We'd love to have you. A few of you already approached me about that. So on that note, you're already all networking, so get out there, do awesome stuff. See you at the next Tech Breakfast. Whew, all right.